Now from here the real story begins. In the quest of solution. Here quest means khoj. Now you can use this word in your many sentences. In the quest of solution. It was 5:30 when Holmes returned. He was bright, eager and with excelled spirit. He said by taking a cup of tea poured by Dr. Watson that there is no great mystery in this matter. The facts appear to admit for only one explanation. Now Dr. Watson exclaimed, "What? You have solved it already?" Now Holmes started explaining that that would be too much to say. I have just have a suggestive facts, that's all. However, it is very suggestive. There is still some details to be added. I gone through the backflies of times and found that Major Sholto of Upper Norwood, late of 34th Bombay Infantry, died on 28th of April 1882. Dr. Watson said, "I may be very obtuse, Holmes, but I failed to see what this suggests." Here obtuse means it is very strange word for us, but it's heard to be quite good. Obtuse means slow to understand, means someone who understands very slowly after listening so much, then he used to understand. Holmes said, "No, you surprise me." Then look at it in this way. Captain Morrison disappears. The only person in London he could visit was Major Sholto. But Major Sholto denies of having heard that he was in London. After 4 years, Major Sholto dies. Some weeks after this incident, Mary Morstan received a valuable present which repeated year to year and now culminates in a letter which describes her as a wronged woman. What wrong can it refers to except the deprivation of a father? Why the present begins immediately after the Sholto's death, unless it is the Sholto's higher that knows about the mystery and desires to make some compensation? Have you any alternative story to meet the facts? Dr. Watson replied, "But what a strange compensation, and how strangely made. And why he is writing a letter now rather than writing it 6 years ago?" Again the letter speaks for her justice, but what justice can she have? It is much to suppose that her father is still alive. Holmes said, "There are difficulties. There are certainly difficulties, but our expedition of tonight will solve them all." There is standing a four-wheeler and Miss Morstan is sitting inside. Are you ready? Holmes took his hat and his heaviest stick. Dr. Watson took his hat and his heaviest stick, but Sherlock Holmes took his revolver and slipped inside his pocket. It was clear that Holmes thought that their night's work was going to be a serious one. Mary Morstan was muffled with a dark cloak. Her sensitive face was composed but pale. She said, "Major Sholto was a very particular friend of Papa's. His letters were full of allusion to the Major. They both were in the command of troops at Andaman Island. By the way, I got a curious paper in the Papa's desk which no one could understand. I think it is I don't think that it is of the slightest important, but I thought you may care but I thought you might care to see it, so I bought it with me. It is here. I don't think that it is of the slightest importance, but I thought you might have cared to see it, so I bought it with me. It is here. Holmes unfolded the paper and smoothed it upon his knee and methodically examined with his double lens. Holmes remarked, "It is a paper of a native Indian manufacture, and it has been pinned for some times on the board. The diagram on the paper appears to be like a plan of a building with lots of corridors, halls and passages. At a point there is a cross made with red ink, above which 3.37 to left is written with faded pencil writing. Then on the left corner have a hieroglyphic like a 4 crosses in a line with their arm touching. Beside it is written in rough and coarse character, the sign of the 4, Jonathan Small, Muhammad Singh, Abdullah Khan, Dost Akbar. I confess that I do not see how this bears with our matter, yet it is a document of importance. Mary Morstan said, "It was in the pocket book that we found it." "Then keep it carefully, Mary Morstan," said Sherlock Holmes. "It can prove to be useful for us. I begin to suspect that this matter turned out to be much deeper and more subtle than I supposed. I should reconsider my ideas," said Sherlock Holmes, and he leaned back on his cab. It was the September evening and not yet 7 o'clock, but the day was the dreary one, and the drizzly fog lay on the great city. The mud-colored cloud drooped onto the muddy streets. The yellow light from the shop windows streamed on into the streamy vaporous air and threw a murky shifting radiance upon the crowded thoroughfare. At the Lyceum Theatre, the crowd was thick at the entrance. In front of them, a stream of hansoms and 4-wheelers were rattling up. Hansoms means a cab drove by horses, means पीछे कैब लगी रहेगी और उसको आगे से घोड़े चलाएंगे. कैब में लोग बैठ सकते हैं. Hansoms and 4-wheelers were rattling up. Then hardly they had reached the 3rd pillar, which was their rendezvous. Rendezvous means it is a French word which means the meeting which was arranged at a fixed place and time, which was their rendezvous, before a black brisk man with dress of a coachman accosted them. That man asked, "Are you the parties who came with Miss Morstan?" Miss Morstan said, I am Miss Marston and these two gentlemen are my friends. He bent a pair of eyes, he bent a pair of his wonderfully penetrating and questioning eyes on the two and said, "Excuse me, miss, I want to ask you to give your words that neither of your companion is a police officer." Miss Marston said, "I give you my word on that." He gave a shrill whistle on which a street Arab led a four-wheeler and opened the door. That men who had addressed them mounted on the box and they took their places. They had hardly done so before the driver whipped his horse and they plunged away at a furious pace in the foggy street. Actually, I don't have the whole novel. I was having till this only. So I will continue the story when I will get it. But if you want to listen the whole story, you can check the link in the description.